Recording. Welcome to episode 5 of the Arc C. Harger Show, featuring Agentfuse, maker of Kingsman
Hello.
and other fantastic mods. So, Agentfuse, how'd you get started?
Technically, I started around like 2018 making a Gecko companion mod that I released, and it's not good. But I only actually got properly started into modding when I made the Mike Burnfire Companions mod back in 2019. And that's
Ah,
what actually made me start.
yes. The good old Mike Burnfire companion. They don't bark over each other at all.
Never. Never at all.
So what was the challenge with, like, stitching those lines together? Was it just getting the voice lines, or was it just more Gek work?
For the most part, a lot of what I did early at the time was just watching the videos and clipping lines with Audacity as I found them, and sometimes I had to do like noise editing or something. But also, I did this 6 years ago, and I was bad at it, so a lot of the lines are bad. But I'm not going back.
Oh, no updated, lore accurate Zach yells about guns, Mark II.
Listen, I did like over 200 episodes when I first made the mod, and there's been like 500 episodes since. I don't want to.
But we need the frontier accurate version. That's what matters.
Yes.
So I know you're working on Kingsman.
Drop the S and yes.
King Kingman.
Just Kingman. Yeah.
Kingman. Why don't
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about that?
So the project actually started sometime in June 2019, but I only earnestly started development in like 2020.
Mm.
But it's essentially a large scale like DLC style one that's focused on Kingman, which is a city in Legion territory. So it's meant to kind of explore what Legion territory looks like more.
So it's to
And
give
yeah,
more of a, like, snapshot of that side of, like, Legion society.
yeah, yeah.
That's very interesting. How is it going to interact with things like Nova Arizona and, like, dry wells and all that?
So it's in its own world space, entirely like custom made. So it won't like overlap in that way. There might be a few things, so like the ways you enter the world space might have to be changed around for compatibility, but that's not too big of a change. As for interactivity, for the most part, not super much. Although I have worked, actually, a new member of the team that I joined a couple months back is the Great State of Alaska, who is also on the Nova Arizona team, and they have helped me flesh out some things and also put in a few references between the mods, which has been nice. Nothing like super overt, but something, little hints and nods.
Okay, so it's kind of like how everyone references, like, some guy's stuff. It's just all, like,
Yeah,
neatly together.
yeah.
I also know that you've been doing interiors, well, not fairly recently, for a minute.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
what inspired you to start working on other mods' interiors?
Well, I started getting into like level design and world design and all of that back in around 2019, actually. Same time as I was developing the Blackburn Flower Companion mod. I had a pet project that was the uncreatively titled Divide mod thing, which is unfortunately lost to time, kind of. But it's where I first really started to learn world and level design and all that, and it's where I built up a lot of those skills, and that ended up actually helping me get onto the frontier, which is I did a lot of stuff on the frontier, around I think 55 interiors total for the release version, and a lot more for the rework as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're on the that team.
Yep.
You're a little bit everywhere, huh?
Oh yeah.
So tell us about the Haunted Casino.
That is probably my favorite mod that I have released right now, just because, well, if one, it's probably my most polished mod I've made, and also it's just full of everything I like, which is the fun, spooky stuff. I like I like horror in general as a genre, and I really wanted to make more horror mods, but they are hard to get good ideas for. So I haven't made one since 2023.
The once famous The Overseer once said mods are the worst place to tell stories.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think there's plenty of unique stories you can tell with mods. I also just like the Fallout New Vegas setting in general, so I think there's a lot of room for untapped potential there.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Horror movie, I'd probably say like definitely one of the Alien films. I flip flop between Alien, like for the original Alien and Alien Romulus, both because Alien is just a fantastic film, and also Alien Romulus. There's so much of that film that I adore, and I really love it, and recency bias mostly. Uh,
My favorite
yeah,
horror movie is 1983's The Thing.
that is a very good one.
It is
Yes, I do love that
peak
one as well.
cinema. So I will give you. We're on the topic of level design, and I know that you also went through Fallout London last earlier this year or last year, one of the two.
hmm
How do you feel about that big mod project's dungeoneering?
So there's a very specific. There are a lot of feelings I have about that specific topic, which is it's somewhat similar to. There's a lot of issues with the mod with Fallout London from when I was playing it, where for one, I think it has way too many locations that were not properly like vetted or connected to the rest of the world. It's something that I have a feeling I know what happened because I have a feeling the development cycle was very similar to how what happened with the Frontier before release, which is that level designers and world designers were just kind of given the go ahead to add whatever they want, wherever they wanted, with no real supervision. At least not too much supervision. Like there was some quality testing and all, but enough so that a lot of the locations felt very disconnected, and that is very prominent in Fallout London from when I played it.
I generally agree with that statement. The dungeoneering in that mod is just kind of all over the place.
hmm
It definitely falls into a lot of the same pratfalls that Fallout 4 itself falls into, which I guess
hmm
is just endemic of how that like level design style is,
Yeah.
with how the verticality is and all that. Um, Shift back on to it. What would you say would be the hardest part about level design in your mods that you're making?
Usually, it's the matter of like clutter is probably the part that usually takes the longest. It's often level of trying to make an area feel lived in while not feeling too much, I guess. Especially with stuff like larger rooms, which are the bane of my existence, and also any office space. I hate office spaces with a passion. They're extremely boring to make, and I hate them. Uh,
What do you mean? They're great.
I love cubicles and desks and computers and filing cabinets all over copy pasted. It's fantastic.
It's such. I mean, clearly you don't understand American work culture. It's clearly the peak.
Uh,
But
yeah,
yeah, um, as someone who's tried to play with the Gek myself, I can't do it.
yeah.
It's the clutter stuff is it's annoying.
hmm
So I really do appreciate people like you who can just sit down and get it done.
Oh yeah, the Haunted Casino probably has my best work,
I'll have to
just because I
I'll have to
I
give it
got
a
to go.
playthrough.
Oh yeah, I went fully. I did a lot of like watching like urban exploration videos of abandoned hotels and places to get an idea of how it looked. So there's a lot of detail packed in there, and I was able to do a lot to actually make it feel properly run down and abandoned, which I'm very happy with.
Uh, Relevant to the conversation, Resident Evil 9 is coming out next year, and that's also going to be a hotel setting. Are you going to be playing that just to get like a comparison of versus your own work, or
I was not aware that it was a hotel setting. I haven't actually played any of the Resident Evil games myself properly. I've like watched playthroughs of some of them, but I never actually played them myself.
oh, they're real fun. I would suggest sitting down and playing through those. They have some really good locations in general, especially the earlier games with the isometric view.
Yeah, I might have to give them a shot sometime.
I will also. So I do have a question from you from someone who's not in this server.
Okay.
One hitman asked me to ask you about New Vegas Bounties 3 and Frost Hills.
Oh, god damn it.
How do you feel about that?
So this stems from a project that I started but didn't actually get very far with, which is I was working. I think it was like about 2 years back. I was working on a basically a full redesign of New Vegas Bounties 3's world space, and Frost Hill was a particular sticker for me because it's really weird because the mod cannot seem to decide whether or not it wants to be a post-war like Western style like mining town like set up with a bunch of wooden shacks, or if it's a pre-war town, which makes no goddamn sense. Uh, because it has a whole ass bank that does not make sense. There's a whole like underground vault with marble floors. It does not work. There's so many buildings there that they're haphazardly between like Good Spring style wooden architecture and like Vegas style like concrete architecture, and it does not work well at all. And I hate it. And in my redesign, I used there's like an old west buildings modders resource, and I use that for a lot of the buildings to replace them and make them look more fitting to the style that they're actually going for.
So it was definitely a lot of tonal clashing there. I know that
Yeah,
New Vegas Bounties 3 is probably the most controversial of the bounties mods that some guy made.
yeah, that's definitely accurate.
It, I also kind of agree with the sentiment you made that it's just it doesn't it too much mishmash.
hmm
It doesn't like know what it is.
Yeah,
Controversial is putting it
sometimes.
lightly. That is true.
Yeah, true, Kraken. Yeah, sometime I should post more images of the places I make. I do still have the file floating around somewhere and screenshots on the other servers, but
Uh,
I'm glad that Hitman tormented me with that question.
good question. Uh,
Yeah.
what would you think is probably your weakest work
Let's see.
or your
If I had
weaknesses in like content creation? I guess would be the better question.
if I had to pick like the mod that I would probably consider to be my weakest, it would probably be the a mod that actually is like more substantial. Like the obvious answer is, oh yeah, it's the Mr. Gek mod, but I don't really care about that. Uh, Probably the El Dorado Legion Quest mod, just because I made it pretty early on, and it's largely just basically a essentially a copy of a quest from Legion Quest Expanded, that old mod.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
takes a lot of cues from that.
I think I've done that mod a handful of times.
Yeah, it's a good mod. It's a little bit broken, but it's a good mod.
Hey, it gives gold.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the important part.
the Golden Opportunity. That was the name of the mod that I made. And yeah, it's a good bit rough around the edges. Pretty simple. If I was to revisit it, I'd want to do more and probably never finish it because my ambition outreaches my motivation. Uh,
Typical modder's curse.
yeah. Yeah. I do also have. I do want to revisit my Uncanny Valley Research Center mod because even though there's a lot in that mod I do like, it's also a lot very unstructured in the way in the way it's made. A lot there's a lot you can tell there's a lot of growth in how I develop my mods between that and Haunted Casino, between my two major like horror mods. There's a big gap between them.
That's typically how it goes, though. The more you actually use the system, the more you learn it and can
Yeah.
refine upon things that you know and learn things you obviously don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what do you think is your most anticipated release of this year?
For like what's like mods
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
just
Mods. My bad.
uh not sure. I have the part of the issue is that I just have not been actually playing New Vegas properly for years now. I just kind of mod it and rarely ever actually play it.
Ah,
But I have been keeping an eye on Nova Arizona. I've checked out the various updates and everything, and hey, it's good to see what ideas I can steal from them.
yes, good old. I like that idea. Let's make it. I love that idea.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool to see someone else's take on the Legion and see how our takes compare. And I have, like I said, we have Alaska on the team, so I got a good amount of back and forth with them about that.
So why did you pick the Legion to expand upon?
Uh, so I remember when I first started to like really seriously consider this idea. It originally happened because Mike Burnfire actually had the No No Bad Legion run series on the channel,
Hmm.
and that is what made me like actually do my first proper Legion playthrough, and I really enjoyed it because I was like, wow, this is a whole new way to experience the game. I've never seen this before, and also it made me very angry about how there were no good Legion mods out there at the time. Uh, and
Yeah,
I remember the one,
the Legion is very underrepresented. Underrepresented.
yeah. Because like you can do a lot of fun stuff with them. Like they're evil and terrible and objectively terrible in every way possible, but there's still a lot of really interesting concepts you can look at with them. And I remember the one that was basically the beginning of Kingman as a concept was the mod Questside Cove has a quest where you're tasked with absorbing well, like basically absorbing a new tribe into the Legion, which was such an interesting idea, and the mod used it on a joke, and I was so upset with that that I made an entire new project out of spite. Uh,
As one
the
does.
best motivator. Yeah,
Spite is a very powerful motivator.
yeah. I had the concept has since evolved since then, but that is where it originated. I really liked the idea of a story based around helping the Legion assimilate a new tribe or helping the tribe fight against the Legion, and so that's where the basic premise started.
You know, the White Legs could have been that in Honest Hearts if they didn't fumble.
It could have, yeah.
So we talked about bad dungeoneering. What do you think are some mods that have very good dungeoneering and level
Uh,
design?
let's let's see. Off the top of my head, it's difficult to remember mods immediately. I'm gonna go look at my MO2 to see what mods I might have installed. Let's see. I can't say the Frontier because that's biased. There was this one mod. I don't remember what it was. It released like about like a year or so ago. I don't remember what it was called, but I really liked it due to can I try and find that? I don't remember what it was called. It was like a fairly simple like a dungeon crawl type mod, but it had a lot of really creative environments. I'm really upset that I can't remember what it was called. It was like the world we knew, maybe. I'm looking it up on the Nexus. Yes, the world we knew. That was it. Yeah,
World we knew.
yes, that mod has a lot of very interesting and creative asset usage. And I remember nothing about the story, but I remember the environments were pretty neat, and I liked them.
I think the first half of Avanza, whatever the fuck that H mod
Havasu
is.
Blues.
Yeah, that one. The first
Yeah.
like half of that mod is excellent.
Hmm. Yeah, I did play through that mod a while back, I think. I don't Yeah, I do remember the little shanty ghoul town on the side of the cliff face was pretty neat. I like that area. It's pretty nicely made.
Unfortunately, the back half of that mod kind of falls toward the pratfall of New Vegas mod, which is big world space with the office buildings.
Yeah, and that was definitely something I noticed when I was doing the playthrough. It was a lot of empty space with not even like environmental clutter, just basically blank landscape between locations, which is something that mods fall into a lot when they make new world spaces. Which is fair because world spaces are hard to make, and I have a way too high standard for myself and others.
What do you think are some of the best tools for people to learn how to like start making world spaces in Fallout New Vegas?
Let's see. The tool that I probably use, other than like the obviously like landscape editor and all that, I use a lot of the object palette tool for stuff like bushes and rocks and stuff because that's very helpful for getting things down quickly and making them look nice, like it just at a click. I have still never actually learned how to use like the height map editor. Probably should do that someday. One of my projects is basically like one of my tentative future projects is basically requires me to learn that, so I'm gonna have to do that at some point. Uh, yeah.
It's
Other than that, other than
definitely
yeah,
a lot of important tools to use, though.
yeah. It's always difficult when people ask me like, "Oh, hey, do you have any tips or tricks?" Because a lot of what I do is basically muscle memory. There's very little like conscious memorization that goes into it. So when people ask me, "Hey, how do you do this?" I just go, I did it. I don't know." But yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my my take on with weapon mods too. I just kind of do it. I can't describe it that well.
Mhm.
Uh, let's see here. I have a few other things I wanted to ask you about. Just give me 1 second. Uh, so I know you're a former Mike Burnfire Discord mod.
Mhm.
What do you think were some of the challenges with actually like helping run a space like that when you were active in
So there was a lot that happened with that.
it?
Uh, so it was a lot of trying to balance. D- a d- I've blocked out a lot of those memories, unfortunately, but it was good to like try and build a community, keep it intact and everything. It was not so good having to deal with constantly changing the server around or like debating on whether or not to keep certain channels or stuff like that. And a lot of it is dealt with like internal conflicts about deciding how to enforce the rules and everything. It was a lot of blech that makes me think that if I ever make like a community server for myself or anything, I'm definitely just gonna have the. I'm not gonna try and make it a fully like rule of law. It's just gonna be if you. I don't want this to happen. Fuck off.
Definitely,
Basically.
vibe based rule is the best rule.
Yeah.
As someone who has managed communities, maybe not of that size, it's definitely a song and dance to keep it going.
Hmm.
Especially when you have people who are not typically there with the best intentions.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, a lot.
yeah, it is a lot. I would not recommend anyone ever go down that route. What is your favorite mod not made by yourself?
Hmm. Let's see. Uh, I mean, there's obviously a lot of like utility mods I use. Like, I think one of the mods I use the most often is like just assorted mods, which is just nice. It's good utility.
Good old jam.
Yeah. Uh, as for like story mods, I don't know which one I would rate the highest. I played a couple. Hold on, do I? When I was actively like playing them a lot more, I did make little like a personal score lists because I am strange. Where'd they go?
Where's the Agentfuse quest mod tier list?
Let's see. Okay, I don't think I have any immediate. I do remember uh one of them that I don't know if this would be like my favorite, but one that I do remember fondly is Cabot Quest, that mod.
That is such a good mod.
Although, yeah, that is definitely primarily because I think it's just a fun mod to play and does a lot of cool stuff technically. The story is mostly nonsensical, and the mod only has a single voice actor who does not do a good job of changing their voice. But
If you ignore
I think
that,
it yeah, if you ignore those things, it's a pretty fun mod to play through, and it has a lot of neat technical stuff to see for like level and scripters and world designers, all that.
it's definitely a breath of fresh air that came out in a I'd say arguably dark period of New Vegas's like quest mod
Mhm.
quest mods coming out.
Yeah,
I've played through it I think like 5 or 6 times. It's
yeah,
it's always nice. You know, they add stuff to the Vipers. Uh, the Omertas are there for some reason.
yeah. They're just kind of present.
It's
I do
perfect.
remember. I did just look at my MO2 like loading list. I remembered there was a mod that was released like a couple weeks ago actually. Lights Camera Anarchy, which was that was a fun little bite-sized mod. I quite enjoyed that. Yeah.
Uh, let's see here. What mods do would I recommend? Obviously, everyone use another Millennia. But Zion Trail is one of those things I need to play through. I have it in my
Yeah.
load order, and I've just never gone through it.
I don't think I've ever actually played through it. I think I might have ages ago, but I do not remember much about it.
How do you feel about uh? What's the best way to word this? DLC overhaul mods.
For like overhauling the DLCs themselves, like in the
Yes.
base game. Okay. Um, Generally, it depends on how they do it, I suppose. There's certain ones that like I feel like uh I mean, obviously the obvious example is some of them are very bad, like Honest Hearts Reborn, which I'm sure is the one that was on your mind.
That was the one
Uh
on my mind.
yeah. I have a long-standing history with that mod. Uh but other than that, there's stuff like Divide Mod Tweaks, which that's Divide Mod Tweaks, Dead Money Tweaks, which stole my acronym, which I will never forgive them for my unreleased mod. How could they?
How could
Um,
they?
yeah, I haven't played with that one myself. I have like some issues with some of the things I've seen them been implemented, but overall it seems fine. People seem to enjoy it, so But, but yeah, overall DLC overhauls. It definitely depends on how they do it and how much they change, because there's a lot of the DLCs are very tightly packed in how they're made, which means there's not a lot of room to change things a lot. And if you do start changing things, you can start to feel like the cohesion breaks down.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit of a balancing act there.
You definitely want to keep the spirit of the original mod intact and not do what
Mhm.
Honest Hearts Reborn did, which is
Yeah.
let's take the favorite character of most people and make him terrible.
uh,
It's
what a
definitely
mod.
it's a mod that people need to learn from. You know, the
Oh
Frontier could
yeah.
have learned something. Having worked on the Frontier, how do you feel about how everything with that has been handled?
um, like regarding everything that happened after the release,
Yes.
there was definitely like immediately after launch with all the controversies and stuff, I was basically in the middle of it all. So that wasn't that was not a fun time. There were a lot of bad actors on one side and a lot of bad mistakes on the mod team side that resulted in things spiraling out of control very quickly, which is not fun to experience firsthand. But I think that they've done a good job, and the rework team has done a good job at beginning to rebuild the mod's reputation and making them generally trying to rebuild the mod as a something better, which I've definitely succeeded at because I've been watching it as it progressed. I helped out about yeah, I helped out about it with it for the first like a year and a half during the reworks development. I've taken a step back recently, but I've still been keeping an eye on them. They're doing good work over there.
Most people are looking forward to the rework, and that
Oh
is
yeah.
a very good thing. It's nice to have some positive thoughts about it.
Oh yeah. It's cool to see people excited about some of the stuff that I that was shown off in the teaser which I made, which was fun.
When writing for quests, what do you typically take for inspiration?
Let's see. Part of the issue is that a lot of the time I'm bad at writing quests. Like I think before you mentioned what my least favorite part of like the model development process was.
Yes.
Generally like quest planning and like NPC dialogue writing tends to be my least favorite part. Like the only reason Haunted Casino is as polished as it is because I really took a long time to properly plan out the entire mod. which is why something like Uncanny Valley Research Center is comparatively much less cohesive and just kind of things happening because I fully improvised my way through the entire development process of that mod, and it shows. But I do think that yeah, generally just planning things out. I've done it a lot more with Kingman, obviously.
Mm.
Kingman is a lot more cohesive because I can look at the whole thing at once and figure out what should connect to what and all that, which is in itself quite a bit overwhelming sometimes, and has resulted in some breaks in development where I just kind of lost motivation due to being overwhelmed by something, but it eventually comes back.
Yeah, it's definitely motivating. Motivation is definitely a thing that is important when you're making mods like that. It's
Hmm.
very easy to, even on making like weapon mods or armor mods, it's very easy to burn yourself out on just like doing the process.
Yeah.
It's good to take a general pace of what you're doing
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of rushing and doing everything all at once.
Hmm.
Um, what games do you typically play outside of New Vegas?
Uh, typically I usually like play games I like to stream to my friends. Most recently I've been playing a lot of Voices of the Void, which I've been enjoying greatly. Uh, it's been a great time. I've been putting up some clips of that on my second channel on YouTube, so that's been fun. Uh, but other than that, I tend to mostly play. Occasionally, I play like some games with friends, like Phasmophobia or Left 4 Dead 2. Sometimes I'll hop on to Fallout 76, see what's going on over there, play for a good couple of hours, and usually not play again for ages. Uh, other than that, usually just occasionally play various like momentary games. I'm not like a huge like play games all the time type person. I very rarely ever actually play games on my own. I pretty much only ever play games when I'm either playing with friends or playing with friends watching me.
Okay, so gaming is you're more of a play games as you go kind of guy, not a
Yeah.
play. I'm a play everything type,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. Must spend 400 hours on Balatro.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's better than I didn't even mention Lethal Company. Well, that's because I haven't played it in a couple of months. But I think I have let's see. Yeah, I did actually. Oh yeah, Lethal Company. I have 506 hours in Lethal Company. So I do play
Jesus.
games a lot when I'm really into them, but when I fall off hard.
Yeah, no, I can definitely fall off hard on games too. Especially when they're just kind of like long and grindy.
Hmm.
Uh, since we've reached the halfway point in the show, do you have any questions for me?
Let me see. I suppose. Have you ever like had any like ideas for any like quest or story mods that you've been interested in potentially developing yourself?
That is a can of worms.
Oh
So,
boy.
last year I had the idea of making a Baja California expansion.
Oh, okay.
The basic premise was since the NCR recalled the veteran rangers down there from doing nothing to come up to Vegas, a I would say cartel like swooped in and
Hmm.
started taking over key points in that region. Um, more to like produce chems and do as the cartel do.
Yeah, yeah.
The goal of the mod would be to either work with the governor and retake all the spots that the bandits took over, or work with the drug cartel and take over the parts of the NCR. Basic give or take like story.
Yeah.
I The only reason I even thought about it was I made a Baja campaign rifle for another millennia, and
Oh, okay.
I was like, huh,
This could be fun.
this could be something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like got to the point where I mapped out a region, and then I realized, wow, I suck at making world spaces.
Yeah, it's world spaces are definitely a lot of work. especially if you make it from scratch.
If anyone wants to steal that idea, go for it. Artsy Herger will approve the stamp. But also the other part of it would be like finding people who actually speak Spanish to like
Yeah,
make mod. Okay, we'll steal bet.
yeah. Finding voice actors is always a time.
Other ideas I had is more like based on probably the Capital Wasteland and just having something to do there. I haven't really thought about it more than that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just fun stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't. I really should put more thought into it if I'm going to actually do it, but I don't think I will do it at any point in time soon.
yeah. I've got a lot of either heavily on or just completely conceptual projects I've had floating around for a while. Uh, and who knows when I'll get around to finishing them.
Isn't being an ideas guy great?
Oh, it's great, especially well, it's arguably worse when you have you technically have the ability to make them real, but you just do not have the motivation to do so.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
It's fantastic.
Let's see here. I had another good question, but I'm just drawing blanks right now.
Hmm.
Um, I need to stop saying
Oh, don't worry, I've been saying the whole time.
uh um.
Uh,
Is there any particular mod authors you'd like to shout out?
uh, let's see. Do I have anyone? I mean, I have the list of people in the super secret New Vegas modder server, but everyone already knows who they are.
Hmm.
Uh,
I wonder who's in that server. Couldn't be a Hitman.
never. Speaking of which, hi Wall.
It's Wall.
uh,
One
but
day
yeah,
we'll have Wall on here screaming about things.
yeah. But I don't have anyone in like super particular because, like I said, despite despite being in please refer to the server as the Cabal. Thank you. Correct. All right, understood. Yeah, I don't have anyone in like particular that immediately jumps to mind, but not a bunch of people working on cool stuff.
As always, I'm looking forward to that Hopper pack that's going to come out eventually.
Oh yes, I did actually make some interiors for that. I forgot.
There's going to be interiors with my weapon mod?
Maybe.
Insane.
Yeah, I just recently actually made interior for one of Pixel Hate's mods, the portal gun mod. That was a fun little small interior. That was good.
So, the final big question in the room is when is Kingman coming out?
I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's still heavily in progress because I mean I've only just recently started to have like some members of the team who are actually like who can actually contribute with Gek work. Like Alaska has done a lot of really good Gek work with like dialogue and quest implementation. But for the majority of the development time, it's been pretty much solely me doing Gek work, which is that's entirely my fault because I'm bad at delegation. But uh, definitely having Alaska has definitely been helping out a good chunk, getting a lot of characters who have been kind of sitting in the conceptual void of yeah, this is what the character's gonna be, but they have literally no dialogue right now.
Yeah, the character's there. Don't worry why it's unvoiced.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely. Hopefully, sometime at some point it will release. There's definitely been a good couple of times throughout the years of working on it on and off, where I've thought like, you know what, maybe I should release like I don't know, like an alpha, or, like release the world space as like a resource or something. But I was never quite happy with doing that because like I want to get this thing done. I have a lot of good ideas I want to explore. I don't just want to just give up on it. So
Another 400 years in the Gek mines.
yes. Hey, it could be worse. You could be my heist mod, which has been stuck in development hell
Oh
for
yeah, I
years as
forgot
well.
about that. You were making a heist mod.
Yeah, it's funny. The start of this year, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this mod finished finally. And then I had a motivation slump due to a job hunt that lasted from February to June, and then I didn't open the deck. for like months at a time. So I don't know if that'll happen this year, but next year's always there.
There's always you have to have it out before Elder Scrolls 6. That's the important part, and that was announced 7 years ago.
I'm almost.
That's still crazy they fucking did that. And I know why they did it.
Yeah.
It's cuz they were trying to make themselves look more profitable. Alrighty. Now is the time where chat will ask questions and we will answer the questions.
All right.
ZL asks, uh, another Millennia or ZL armaments?
I have used neither. I'm sorry.
Damn!
Yeah, when I'm playing New Vegas, I pretty much play it completely vanilla for the most part. I rarely ever use significant amount of mods. I just kind of go as I go, especially visual mods. I use no visual mods when I like either playtest, develop, or whatever.
Strict vanilla user.
Nah, not- but yeah.
The Kraken asks, on the topic of object recycling slash using them in creative ways, any favorites in that field? I,
Let's see.
I vaguely remember an oven or something made from a safe posted years ago.
Oh yeah, the oven safe. Yeah, that's what I made for the There's like a shack location in Kingman that's supposed to be like an old timey shack, like an old western style. And yeah, I used open safe to create that. There's a lot of ways you can creatively use assets in this game. Uh, in the base game, one of my favorites because it's really stupid is the the classic Repcon rocket, the Repcon test site where it's held up by trash cans, and for some reason they made the trash cans still be containers. Don't know why. The static versions existed, but they didn't use them. It's creative asset usage and it works well, but I don't know why they made them containers.
Uh,
Yeah, there's
the next question by the Kraken, since your horror mods are made for a traditionally non horror game, if you discount Dead Money, what are your favorite horror sections in regular games?
okay. This this is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting because I do love horror segments in non-horror games. They're always very fun. Some of them immediately come to mind. Let's see. I like how I immediately just scrolled to the spooky category in my Steam library. That won't help. Uh, there's none that immediately come to mind. A lot of them are just moments that, especially in horror games, are especially horror themed. Stuff like uh, Control in general is one of my favorite games of all time, and that's like a pseudo horror game, but it has a lot of those elements to it that I like a lot.
Okay. Juan's Alt asks, favorite vanilla quest slash unique weapon slash memory slash favorite weapon mod.
Vanilla Quest. Let's see. I might say like actually
Pardon me.
it might be the monorail quest at McCarran actually, just
Oh,
because
yeah, with the
that
bomb.
has yeah the one with the monorail bomb because of how it has two routes inside of it, which is either working for the Legion to get the plan done or working for the NCR to discover the plan, and both are really interesting in how they're done, and I really like that quest. As for unique weapon, let's see. I think the one I probably use the most is I don't know. The one that immediately popped into my mind was the Christine's Circle of Steel silenced rifle. That's always a fun one. Always a favorite of my stealthy characters, which I usually end up playing because I'm a coward. Uh,
Good old stealth archer build.
naturally. New Vegas memory. I have a lot of those, but for some reason, the one that immediately came to mind is when I was actually playing the game in an NCR run. I was fighting the Legion Assassin Squad, and one of them flanked me with a super sledge and caught me off guard, and I fully would have died in real life if that happened to me, but because it's a video game, I was like, wow, I would have died just there. Oh well.
Oh well, reload save. They won't get me this time.
Yeah. And
Matt,
mod weapon, no idea.
no idea. MattPat 3000 asks, I just got here. Who are you again?
I don't know.
It's like you can read the stage and see who it is.
Oh.
Uh, are there? Sergio Booth asks, are there any other horror themed mods for New Vegas that you like besides the Haunted Casino?
Hmm. So this is an interesting question because I think I have played every horror mod made for New Vegas. I did that like a year or two ago during October, and I can confidently say I did not enjoy most of them. Like I think the best one, which they mentioned later on, actually, is Hollander Hotel and Casino. That was probably the best one. I still think it's a little bit like fairly simple and by the books. It's not, it's competent, which is it was competent. It was short. It was sweet. It did some neat things, and it was a plain good experience. I cannot say the same for most of the other horror mods I've played. Uh,
Spady asks, favorite gun?
like a real life gun. I don't know. I'm not a gun nerd. Although I did actually just talk about this with my friend recently, so I might as well include this one. The like the Colt. I don't know if it was a submachine gun, whatever. The one that was made for the Department of Energy to guard nuclear power plants. That's fun. That's cool. I want to put that in a mod someday.
MP5K, I think.
I don't think that was
I'm
it,
not
but
sure. There's too many guns.
yeah,
No, the Colt 633 is what ODST gang is saying.
sure.
Ah, yes, the Colt MP5. Shut up. I have a fever right now. I'm allowed to be a little stupid. Um, since you released a few modded resources, which assets? Blah, 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 blah. The Kraken asks, since you've released a few modded resources, from which are assets from your mods, do you have any particular opinion on mod permissions and cathedral slash parlor modding?
I don't know what cathedral slash parlor modding means, but I do think that for a lot of like yeah, I did the modders resource pack I released has a lot of assets that I made for various of my mods over the years. I do think that generally like open permissions on like proper like full like story mod like I don't know if I would put like full open permissions on something like Kingman when I release it. Just because there's a lot of stuff there that's like, there's some of these are like things that like specific artists made for the mods. I don't know if I want to give open permission for stuff like that. So I do think for mods I release personally, I'd probably specifically put like stuff that would be okay with other people using in like a modder's resource pack, like I did here. But yeah,
Okay. Um, let's see here. Any more questions? This is a last call for questions.
I did see ZL say
Oh,
at the very
yes.
beginning actually. Uh, Also, yes, the two NPC ghost hunters in a haunted casino were indeed based off of Ryan and Shane.
What's your opinion on TTW?
Good. I'm friends with Kazopert. It's a good mod. Good job, Kazo.
Good job. Everyone should use TTW.
I don't, but yeah.
I don't, but yeah. Since you were making a Legion mod, any Legion mods you like?
Let's see. I do actually. Where did it go? I had a whole like Legion Quest mod document that a Legion mod list. There it is. Let's see. Legion Quest Expanded, always a classic. I prefer Arizona Slave Army over Caesar's New Regime, which is the drag body one. Just because I like how it looks more. Let's see. More specific. The Vulpes and Colta companion mod is neat. It's fairly simple, but yeah, it's fun to have Vulpes around. There's a couple of quest mods like interesting NPCs, New Vegas stories, Microburn Fires NPC and quests. They add a couple of fun little extra little smaller little side mods that involve the Legion, which are always fun.
Alrighty. Any thoughts in the close? Are there any people who you'd
Uh,
want on the show in particular?
let's see. I don't think he would ever, but a Hitman would be fun to see on this. I don't think he would, but
Yeah, he's not
uh,
doing that. I asked already.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, like a TG Spy. You probably spoke with him about that.
Hmm.
Wall, obviously. You gotta talk to Wall. Hi, Wall.
We gotta have Wall on
Uh,
here.
Also, to answer your question, Alaska and Kingman merge when? I've wanted to, but I've been distracted, and I need to finish my things first.
What's your favorite Gek button?
Sorry, no, one. No. It's one. It makes objects invisible when you have them selected. It's very nice.
Very handy.
Yeah.
Episode title: Talking to a Wall. Perfect. That's excellent. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a blast
Yeah.
having you here.
Yeah, glad to come on.
Sorry for the technical issues early on,
You're good.
but I'll see you guys next week. Next week, I'm going to try to get Cell Block on. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh boy.
We'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a great day. I will talk to you all next time I talk to you all. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.